Where are you, 10-pounder? I swear, my first hook set, I'm gonna think it's the 10-pounder. If I hook that 10, I wanna have a good camera angle. No way, no way, that's a big one, that's a big one. Well, what's going on, folks? Welcome back to 200 Ponds. My name is Tyler, and my goal in this series is to help you guys become better pond anglers and catch more fish. No matter if you pond fish in Oregon, Texas, New York, or Florida, this series is for you. Now, today's episode is back in Texas. I'm gonna be hopping back and forth from Florida to Texas over these next few episodes. And as always, it is sponsored by Evolution Fishing. Well, can you all see that? It's a brand new backpack. Let's talk about it. And let me tell you, it has been so hard to keep this bag a secret, but the brand new largemouth bag from Evolution is finally out. Some of the awesome features being it is stronger built than ever. I mean, it's built out of incredibly strong materials, and the customizable options of this thing are insane. I mean, there's a million and one ways you can put your tackle in this bag. It has a strong zipper that goes on both sides. It flips down, and you can have one tackle box in the front with soft plastics in these kind of like quasi-hard plastic little containers, but they can also flip in. Let me take this out here, flip that one in, and you can fit up to 6 boxes stacked this way. Pocket here, pocket here, pocket here. I'm gonna open these back up and put my soft plastics back in. And one thing you might not have realized is that the front of this is actually a plastic swim bait, big bait, treble hook area that you can put larger baits that might not fit in an actual box. So your glide baits, your buzz baits, your spinner baits, anything that's maybe pre-rigged, a drop shot, Carolina rig, can all go in the front here. 3 individual sections with, of course, a clear plastic and a zipper. And so I'm gonna keep all my big baits in this section right here. Pocket here, pocket here, pocket here, a slot right here to put your rod in for, let's say you're riding a bike to the pond. And then, of course, an absolute deal breaker for me, I need to have my trays stacked horizontally, and you can fit 3 of their Evolution, I believe 3600. Correct me on the screen if I'm wrong. 3 of those boxes in this bag right here with an easy clip that keeps them stacked on the inside. Of course, the whole thing is super durable, hook resistant, and weather resistant. And to top it all off, it's got an incredibly comfortable padding on the back. So I'm excited to use this in all my episodes going forward. And you can use code TRF2025 to save 25% or 20%. Whatever it is on the screen down here, that much off your order. Evolution is a huge sponsor of this channel, and of course the 200 Pond series. I'm excited to work with them, and I can't wait to see you guys rocking this bag around your ponds. Enough chit chat, and let's get down and hopefully get a pre-spawn smackdown going at pond number 113. Now, as always in this series, I like to start by talking about the conditions of the pond I'm fishing. It has been crazy cold here in Texas, but we finally have a few warm days, and I'm actually down in East Texas today, and so the weather is usually about 10 degrees warmer for this time of the year than it is in far North Dallas where I live. So if I go down and feel the water, I'm gonna say it's probably not chilly willy. Matter of fact, I dare say it's nice. And I don't mean it's nice as in I wanna jump in right now and take a swim. I mean, that feels to me like really good pre-spawn temperatures. Yesterday I was fishing on a public lake, and I saw the water in the morning go from 48 to when I got off the water at 2 o'clock, it was 54 degrees. So I can only imagine a pond of this size right here, just under 2 acres, has probably 55-degree water yesterday, which is prime time pre-spawn temperatures. Now, are the fish going to be in those patterns? I'm not sure, but I've got 2 lures to test whether they are in kind of winter to pre-spawn or full-blown pre-spawn. The first of which being a tungsten thunder cricket here, this one being in the bluegill color, my favorite for the clear water, another condition today. And the other one is a drop shot with a slightly shorter leader, about a 10-inch leader right here. And I'm probably gonna go with the super finesse worm, again, just because I'm not sure how many big bass are in this pond. My buddy Steven owns this pond. He's an awesome older gentleman here in East Texas that I've got to know through my college years. And he knows there is one 10-pounder in this pond. The fisheries management company that comes here to check out his pond has shocked it up twice, and it's now over 10 pounds. So there is a 10-pounder in this pond. And every time I go to set the hook, I am hoping I just feel a few head shakes, because that means I probably hooked the pond giant. So let me get, although hold up, I don't even know if I have any of those worms. It's a good thing I have my tackle store with me, because Skeeter Pro Shops probably has what I need. Okay, and because I'm fishing a pond that I know has a 10-pounder, I'm gonna try to do a little better with applying some scent throughout the day. This is thump gel in chartreuse juice. This actually smells good. Now, as far as cover and structure go in this pond, it looks like we have some lily pads in various clumps around the pond. One corner has more pads than the rest of them, it seems. We've got a few trees leaning down into the water, but I don't think the pads or the laydown logs are really gonna be that big of a factor today. I think most fish are gonna be cruising the drop off or gonna be out in the middle. There is one aeration system over there that's adding some oxygen into the lake. And I don't know if it's affecting the water clarity, but it's pretty dang clear for having no aquatic vegetation besides pads. I'm gonna do one full loop around the pond with the thunder cricket before we switch to something else. Now here's how you know that springtime is here in Texas. This is a cedar tree, and I'm about to make myself absolutely sneeze up a storm. God. Hopefully y'all could see the pollen is crazy. I mean, where I grew up in Austin, you could see the entire forest of the hill country when the wind would blow, just be like a giant puff storm of pollen. That's how you can tell springtime is close. Are you 10-pounder? I swear, my first hook set, I'm gonna think it's the 10-pounder. I don't know, maybe the thunder chicken's a little bit too much for him. That's not a fish. I kept getting a thump there. That's a stick, I think. I think it was, at least. One more try. Oh no, that's a bass. No way. No way. Okay. So I was hitting a group of bass. There we go. Yes. Success at pond 113. Not a big one, but a really, really healthy fish. I mean, goodness, this thing is a chunk. Probably doesn't even weigh 1.5 pounds, but he's thick. And so I think what I was feeling there was probably a group of fish that I got 3 bites in a row. So let's go back there, see if we can't catch another. Oh my goodness, is that another bite? If I hook that 10, I want to have a good camera angle. No way, no way, that's a big one. That's a big one. Oh my gosh, get in here, get in here. Holy cow, what a strong fish, what a strong fish. Okay, not the 10-pounder we are after, but holy cow, did that sucker smoke it. Get in here, yes sir. Oh, that got my blood pumping. Now that is a certified Texas 3-pounder. Thunder cricket, roof of the mouth. I think we found a good area where these fish are. Now, is it because the fish feeder is over there for the bluegill? Possibly, but just like any body of water, you've got to find the bass where the forage is, and it's mostly bluegill in here. And so if that feeder feeds the bluegill, the bass are probably not far behind. Thank you, buddy. I got to send a picture to Steven. All right, thank you, Mr. 3-pounder, for giving me a good time and helping me prove a point in that I don't care what body of water you are on, you gotta find the bait fish to find the bass. And even though I haven't seen the bluegill, I can use deductive reasoning to guess they're probably somewhere around the fish feeder. But that fish tore up my trailer, so I'm gonna get a new one. I throw the mid-size rage bug on all my vibrating jigs in watermelon, green pumpkin, red, black and blue, whatever the color is to match the thunder cricket, this one being straight green pumpkin. I thread it on there vertically, as y'all have seen me talk about in previous trailer videos. I find that best imitates a bluegill and helps this thing stay down in the water column. And did those fish bite because of the thump gel? I can't guarantee it, but that's 2 casts in a row, so I'm not gonna stop now. All right, folks, let's make another cast toward this area. It's 1 fish over on that side, 1 fish closer to me. 1 fish, 2 fish, redfish, bluefish. Either way, they are stacked in this area. So I'm definitely coming back with a drop shot and probably clean house here in about 30 minutes once these fish forgot what happened to them. Because there comes a time in the pre-spawn where they just get all kinds of mad at it and they are just annihilating every reaction bait, and it's the most fun thing ever. I don't think we're far from that, but even though the weather's beautiful, I'm not sure if the fish have quite changed their wintertime habits all that much yet. It's crazy that in a pond like this, there could be a 10-pound bass that's alive and thriving, and any cast could be the one that I catch it. In any cast, in any cast could be the one that I hook into the giant. Because most, there we go. There's a fish. Hold up. Gosh, come on. Not a 10, but another nice one. That was like all the way on the other side of the pond by the stick, by the laydown over there. Goodness. This is the biggest one yet, I think. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Gorgeous. Gorgeous fish, so fat. Not hooked very well though. Not hooked very well. Get in here. Can I boat flip you? Can I get you in? Yes! Holy cow. No, 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 no. Oh, another chunk. And like I said, was not hooked well at all. The hook popped out. I gotta hand it to Steven. Whatever he's feeding the bluegill is making its way into the bass's bloodstream because these things are thick. All right, folks, what a time we are having. These fish are thick, they are healthy, and the last two hook sets especially, they feel good. Like I keep thinking I'm hooking the giant. And man, if I keep catching them the way I'm catching them, I might catch that fish. I'm just slow rolling thunder cricket across the bottom in an area where the bluegills are. And honestly, as soon as these bluegills get on beds, I'm sure this pond is just gonna go nutty during that time of the year. Maybe I'll have to come back, who knows? Let me know if y'all wanna see me come back to this pond, fish at a different time of the year, but I like what he's done with the place. And y'all have commented before how I can show up to a pond and usually catch fish relatively quickly every time, which by the way, there's some ponds I just don't even film and put on YouTube because they were so bad. So don't let that fool you. I have bad days too. But oftentimes I can just tell really quickly based on all my experience by walking down to the pond, looking at the bait fish, looking at the water clarity, looking at the cover and structure. And I kind of use the, Punnett square to help me figure out what lure is best. And just over my years, I figured out which ones are best to throw first. And the thunder cricket under these conditions in this color is usually best during this time of the year. Last cast from this peninsula here, and I'll move on to that bank over there with all them pads. And if I don't get a bite on this whole little corner stretch here with all these pads, then I can pretty much guarantee you they're mostly in that one circle right there. So the last few casts I made there didn't catch any. Probably went by their faces, but they got smart pretty quick. So the drop shot will fool them again. And if that's the case, that is a really common winter time problem, I guess you could say, you deal with in ponds, is that the fish really group up. And so most of the water is dead water until you find a good area. And even then you may never find it because they don't bite. And you know what, as I film this, I realized that this video is probably coming out relatively close to the Bassmaster Classic, where every year I host my Make the Time Bible study. We meet at a Chick-fil-A, we open up God's Word and have a good time together. And this year it'll be Saturday, March 22nd in Fort Worth, Texas, or wherever Chick-fil-A I can find. I'll have the actual address listed down at the bottom of the screen and the time to meet as well. Anybody and everybody's invited, whether you're a person of faith or not. I want you guys there. Like I said, if you live in DFW or you are traveling for the Bassmaster Classic, you are invited, and bring your friends. I'd love to meet you there and open up God's Word together. Maybe I'll give away some Infinite Outdoor stuff. Matter of fact, I can guarantee I will. So spread the news. We're gonna be talking about the good news on that Saturday at that location. Oh, there we go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Nice one. Nice one. Yes, sir. Gosh. Yeah, not the 10, but a good one. But a good one. Come on. Holy cow. Another chunk. Another beautiful fish. Get in here. Get in here. Yes, sir. Look at these fish. What on earth is Steven doing to this place, man? These fish are chunky as all get out. And that, I mean, thunder cricket, roof of the mouth. Once again, though, like you expect with that kind of a hookup right there, there was a massive, intense bite. It wasn't. I hardly could even tell I had a bass on there, but that's another 3-pounder. I just feel like the 10 is coming. It's good. I'm gonna catch it. Every bite that I've had though has been relatively out toward the middle. I haven't got a single fish on like the initial drop off. And so I think the cold front did a number to these fish and really pushed them off. But they want to eat. They want to get ready to come up here and spawn. It's just still a little too cold. At least the weather has made them in a biting mood as opposed to how they were, I'm sure, a few days ago under some ice. And as always, my exact tackle I'm using is linked down in the video description. I love using the Mach combos in all my bank fishing adventures. This here is the Mach Smash. It's in a 7.2 medium power fast action. And I love this thing for all reaction baits. The 1/2 ounce Thunder Cricket here is a little bit too heavy for this power and action of rod, but the length of it helps with that. I love this rod for small crankbaits, small vibrating jigs, small spinnerbaits, little finesse jigs, Texas rigs. And with it, I've got, I think it's 17-pound, maybe 15-pound Seaguar Basics fluorocarbon. For the price, an absolutely fantastic fluorocarbon line. Super smooth, lasts a long time. I actually put a brand new spool on today, so I'm casting like a wizard. And let me tell you, there are some rod and reel combos that I keep around for years and years just because they cast that well. And this specific Mach Smash, absolutely long. That's like 65 yards. And you all know the deal. Those links are affiliate links. So if you shop using those, there we go. Oh, 65-yard cast resulted in a fish. If you shop using those links, it helps this continue to be my full-time job. So that would mean a whole lot to me if you do that. And I think that's at the 5th fish today. Boom, beautiful. Thunder cricket, not hooked well. On a cast that long, you really got to get a good hook set on them. And I want to keep casting out there, man, because they're there. And Steven told me to either catch 10 fish or catch a 10-pounder. That would be my merits for success on today's adventure. So we are halfway there on the numbers. Maybe we're halfway there on the 10-pounder. You just gotta believe the next cast, the next hook set, the next presentation could be the one that gets this pond monster to eat. Oh no. Oh, junk. I guess there's another tree down there I didn't see. No, that's gonna be a goner. Yep. See ya. Well, you know what? I think I want to go back over those areas that I caught him with a drop shot. That's probably the way I'm going to catch the big one today. I'm just thinking, due to the nature of how they've been biting, there's probably more fish than I've caught that have looked at it and just said, ah, that's too fast. That a drop shot will definitely nab. Just making little shakes with it, just like that. Shake, 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 shake. About a 4-inch movement of the rod tip. Does a lot more to that worm than you might think. You don't have to go like this. And you also don't have to leave the weight on the bottom and just move the worm enough to not move the weight. I used to think that. Not the case. Just hop it like any little finesse jig, but even more finessey. And if you still have no confidence with the drop shot in your fishing, click my link down below for my drop shot masterclass, or just search on YouTube, Tyler's Reel Fishing Drop Shot. I've made what I think is one of the best videos out there explaining all the different ways to drop shot and how to gain confidence doing it. Whoa, a hawk. Can y'all see that? Yeah, a dang osprey just landed over there. Super cool, nature. That right there is some infinite outdoors. Let's make a cast at the bubbler. But I'm not gonna lie, I know I haven't fished like the good areas yet that I was catching them before I broke off, but that I haven't caught a fish yet is surprising. But the fact that I haven't even got a bite yet on this whole stretch here that I had not fished is odd. So maybe they actually are in like a shallower mood, getting up into those 2 shallow pockets where the wood is over there, the laydowns, and all the pads are. It's possible the fish are kind of in that section, getting ready to head up. Not to say they wouldn't spawn on this bank either, but this is definitely the steepest bank on the whole pond. So I'm guessing in the morning when the water temperature was cooler, they were probably on this bank and they've since moved over to the other side. And I'm also not seeing any bluegill on this bank, but I did see tons on the other side. So again, follow the forage and you'll find the bass. I've got a fish. I've got a fish. And it feels big. It feels huge. Matter of fact, I think it is huge. I think is that the fish? I don't know, but it's swimming at me. Why are you swimming at me? Oh my gosh, big one, big one, big one, big one, big one, big one. Yeah, I don't think it's the 10, it's not, but it's a big one. I made a cast far out there beyond the fountain. Oh gosh, I almost fell in the water. I almost fell in the water right there. That was close. Get in here, buddy. Look at that 4-pounder coming in here. Biggest one of the day on the drop shot. I mean, that was like the furthest cast I could make with a weight of this size. I think is like 1/8 ounce maybe. But look at that, filler worm in the mouth. My favorite drop shot hook, VMC Redline Finesse Nico size 1, is perfect for small drop shot worms. And that's a 4-pounder. When I set the hook and I saw a flash, I was like, that's her, that's the one. But nonetheless, an absolutely beautiful fish. She has a really cool marking right there on her face, a little black spot. But I knew there had to be a bigger one out there in the middle. Still no 10 though. All right, bye-bye, 4-pounder. Can you triple in size, please, next time? Okay, if that's where a 4-pounder was, maybe a 10-pounder will be right next to it. Usually if you get out your phone when you're working a drop shot, it's a guaranteed way to get a bite. Well, we are back after quite a few minutes of unproductive fishing. Honestly, I expected to catch more on the drop shot, kind of similar to my usual pattern of going fast and then slowing down and kind of a cleanup crew sort of thing, and it just hasn't worked. So I don't know if the fish in here just want something more loud or aggressive or just a bigger profile today than the drop shot provides, but I really thought as soon as I switched to the drop shot I would get more bites, but it's not been the case. But maybe this area here, the peninsula where I caught 3 in a row, is a good place to finish it today. Well, you know what's weird about today's fishing is that it didn't follow the standard pattern of the springtime, which is that the earlier morning is not as good and the afternoon warms up, the fish start biting better. It's like the first loop around the pond, the fish bit better than the second time. So either A, there's not that many bass in here, although Steven's had this place electroshocked and there are a lot of fish. And so B, I think these fish just wanted something bigger and faster today, and the drop shot was not it. So you know what? I'm not gonna be upset about that, because that probably means we are entering a season where I put the drop shot down at least 90% of the time to pick up stuff that is bigger, larger, faster, more flashy, and at least in my opinion, more fun. So once again, check out the new largemouth bag from Evolution. I will have it linked below with that discount code. I'm just excited to work with a company that actually listens to the influencers and pros they work with. And so I told them on the flap, put the swim bait holders, and they did. So thank you all so much for watching this episode of 200 Ponds. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you want to see my last episode, whammy, it'll be clickable up here in the corner, as well as my entire 100 Pond series is up in this corner. My name's Tyler. As always, it's a pleasure, and we'll see y'all next time right here on TRF 200 Ponds back in Florida.